Asta is going to become 10 times stronger. Let's go! We already know that Asta is the strongest character in the entire Clover Kingdom. He's the only anomaly in the world that Lucius Socrates declared the one threat that can destroy his plan with Hino. Unlucky for him, Asta got isekai to the perfect place. He's currently in another continent. And the girl that is going to enter Asta's harem is none other than Yami's sister. Yes, you heard that right. Yami has a sister, and she is a master of ki, which allowed her to 10 times her power level within an instant. Ryu told Asta that he would train with her to gain this power, which means, I'm gonna say it, Asta is unlocking even more Drake.
Now then, do you guys enjoy fantasy worlds with stunning 3D graphics?
Yes.
Do you enjoy waifus? Do you like being intimate with your companion?
Pause.
Well, let me tell you about Bloodline. That's right, this easy to play strategic hero collector RPG will blow your minds. All you need is Android or iOS. You can collect champions, build kingdoms, and create legendary heirs by marrying them and creating powerful offspring built to your own playing style. Combine orcs with lycans, demons, dragonborn, and more. The possibilities are endless. By clicking the link in the description and pinned comment, or by scanning the QR code on your screen right now and using the code BLDHOL2, you can download Bloodline and receive an exclusive starter pack full of gold and diamonds plus an intimacy pack worth $20. It's honestly that easy, but it's only available for the next 30 days. So install it now whilst you remember, otherwise it will be too late and you'll miss out on all the new legends that will be born.
Black Clover Chapter 338 begins with Asta realizing he's on an all-inclusive holiday to the land of rising sun. But he wants to go back and fight Lucius before it's too late. Ryu reassures him that Lucius won't make a move yet and that he shouldn't worry. Because of course he won't. This is a shonen, you silly witty. Don't you remember when Dante did the same thing for no reason and waited 6 months to let them trade?
You are technically correct. The best kind of correct.
As we explained last week, it is revealed that the Shogun is the land's equivalent to the Wizard King. But this makes Asta question whether or not it's the fact he can't feel magic, but he says Ryu doesn't look that strong, to which the Shogun surprisingly agrees. He reached this high rank despite being magicless. Within one day, Asta has already replaced Julius with a new person to look up to. Although Julius told Asta he needed merit to become Wizard King, Ryu acts as the only piece of actual evidence that such a thing is possible whilst having no magic power. Although in this country they call magic sorcery and instead of grimoire they use magic scrolls because, you know, it's Japan. After calling Ryu weak, we see waifu number 5 getting angry at Asta like a true tsundere. And remember last week when I said this? She looks like Yami with long hair. Well, it turns out that joke ended up being technically correct.
What the fuck?
Yami's sister is named Ichika, meaning dark flowers. It turns out she's exactly like him, paralleling his interaction when he met Asta for the first time with herself. Oh, and I know what you're probably thinking. ABD, why did Yami never mention that he had a sister before? Especially when his best friend Nacht was grieving over the loss of his brother Morgan. Couldn't he relate with his best friend?
See, now that's some bullshit.
Well, let me explain. Currently, Yami is about 30 years old. Ryu said in chapter 337 that the last time he saw Yami, he was 13. This means it's been 17 years. Therefore, if Ichika is around 16 to 17, the chances are Yami may not even know she exists. This would fix any plot holes her introduction could have. Otherwise, it would make no sense for us to never get even the slightest hint of Yami having a sister beforehand. Then again, that didn't stop Black Clover from randomly stating Tetia's hybrid twin survived and actually had ancestors in Elysium this whole time after 500 years. I'm just saying.
You are technically correct.
Asta is then taken on a sightseeing tour of the Hino Country, where he witnesses everyone using sorcery and also finds potatoes. The same potatoes that are a speciality in Hajj village. These aloo are very important, fam, because Asta sees a family, which triggers his PTSD, as the mother with her children reminds him of the time he had with Sister Lily in his youth. They were innocent, kind, and peaceful, but Lucius took that all away, changing the one person Asta loves the most to become the evilest and most cruel by telling him to die. This humanizes Asta's character, that although he is powerful and has a strong will, he's still like the rest of us. He too feels the burden and pressure on his shoulders that we would all have in this situation, making him a relatable protagonist as a human and even more lovable to readers. Right, Anya? But what's interesting is the potatoes, the aloo. Hajj village having the same cuisine and type of potatoes is seriously questionable, where even Asta put that thought in the reader's mind. These two continents don't have the same culture, magic system, or ideas, so this means someone from the Hino Country must have made it a thing in the Hajj village, which funnily enough is where Asta's mother is from. Lysitha was ostracized in her childhood and had to live in the woods because she absorbed people's mana and life force. But since we have found out that people not having sorcery power is possible in the Hino Country, and they have a different way of living and power system where ki is instead largely utilized, it could be a massive foreshadowing of Asta's father being revealed. Or, you know, it could just be a parallel of continents. Stick around and I'll explain. But let me know what you think in the comments. Those that predict correctly get a shout out in the next video. So be sure to join our community and be a part of it. Hit the notification bell for our channel and smash the like button. Become a Chad today. Moving on, Ryu quickly runs on ahead to talk to the family and gets them to move out of the way when suddenly a group of bandits attack in that very spot. It's highlighted that Ryu saved them by moving them before their attack, which makes Asta question if it was a coincidence or not, but he realizes that it cannot be one, and that Ryu can feel the future with ki via seeing the intent of the evil bandits behind the wall. Ryu's eye is special, meaning he saw the attack happen before it actually did. Tabata loves utilizing duality in his storytelling to explore the nature of good and evil due to someone's beliefs, environment, and culture affecting their lives. For example, Lucius is a villain who has the power to see the future, but uses it to conduct an evil plan to oppress humanity, whereas Ryu is a character with a similar power, but utilizes it for the greater good by helping humanity and becoming the shogun of Japan that liberated it. It makes sense why Ryu was so relaxed when Asta mentioned devils like Liber, because Akumas are a real thing and a heavy theme in Japanese culture. Ryu would have knowledge of them, and there would be forbidden Akuma scrolls which allowed him to gain the power to find his best friend Yami by mastering ki or devil magic. Ryu is a person that would never give up until he saw his dead body. He would become the shogun to gain enough political power to create the first official voyage to the Clover Kingdom, just like his counterpart in real life that Date Masamune did, which we covered last week. Remember to hit the notification bell. Don't be a silly witty that missed that video out. Ryu must have promised Yami he would become the shogun of the nation. Their relationship must be paralleling Asta and Yuno, just as Alan and Zenon did from another country. Think about it. Alan, Asta, and Ryu all share a similar trait, a lack of sorcery power, but they work hard to achieve their dream, whilst Yuno, Zenon, and Yami are naturally gifted. Tabata is highlighting how humans are very similar despite their different upbringings and culture. We all may be diverse, but we are still human. What makes us good in nature is our emotions and bonds that help us surpass our limits to achieve our dreams. We see Ichika come onto the scene and heeds to Ryu's orders. The bandits start talking the typical bad guy stuff, like, oh, I'm evil, I'm gonna beat you, whatever. She uses her mastered ki technique, which expands her muscles and has Asta absolutely shocked. In combination with dark magic and this mysterious technique, she's able to completely obliterate the bandits without even taking a single step and sending them flying. Asta senses that for a moment her ki had increased tenfold. Typically, ki has been used to describe the nature of something, so to be able to increase that sensation means Asta for the first time is able to sense an escalation in power. For example, when facing Nama and Lilith, Asta didn't feel a thing because he couldn't feel the quantity of power being displayed. But Noct, on the other hand, he was having a nightmare. He was losing his mind in their presence. A complete contrast. This is why Asta was so shocked to feel Ichika's ki increase.
It was fucking biblical, man.
Asta realizes the identity of Ichika after hearing the crowd cheer for her. And that's right, ladies and gentlemen, balls deep prediction magic is correct, as she is one of the 7 Ryuzen, which translates to Zen dragon, meaning last week where we mentioned the 8 dragons where Ryu is the head, there would be 7 others that equate to captains who would train Asta for his final battle against Lucius. Come on, man, we need a round of applause for our community, man. How did we get that shit right? You know what I'm saying? I'm getting hyped, fam.
Congratulations.
Zen dragon is heavily linked to Buddhism, which means Ryu's eye can be the eyes of Buddha for the enlightened one. These eyes look out in 4 directions to symbolize the omniscience or all-seeing nature of a Buddha. Ryu tells Asta that the power Ichika displayed will be the key for Asta to learn this new mysterious power and be able to surpass Lucius. But you're all probably scratching your heads thinking, oh, then what the heck is this power to begin with? What is it, ABD? So once again, it's time for you guys to enter my classroom, or should I say dojo. Cue the music, please. It's time to teach you guys the inspiration and concept behind the power. In chapter 338, you can clearly see Ichika increase her power tenfold and proceed to destroy all the bandits without even touching them. She projects herself 4 ways and the force knocks all of them out instantly. You are probably wondering, how is this possible with the power of ki? Well, the truth is, Eastern philosophy and martial arts emphasize ki. For example, in this panel, we can clearly see Ichika using a stance similar to real life in East Asian martial arts such as Aikido. Some Japanese martial artists could throw opponents without touching them. This was called the To'ate technique, which literally means hitting from a distance, and it is the ultimate style of martial arts. The Japanese samurai was designed with the goal of strengthening the synthesis between conscious and unconscious by controlling the unconscious emotional functions. Ki is a universal energy that is in all life, binding us all together, coming in an abundance of different types and a psychophysical energy. It is very important in martial arts. By using it in martial arts, it allows the user to exude a force from oneself, giving a psychophysical impression onto both them and their opponent. This energy is developed by specific breathing exercises and implemented by the concentration of the will. Remember how Yami taught Asta the basics and told him to block everything out of his mind and concentrate on his breathing? That is why Aikido training, for instance, combines ki, mind and body, protecting the user from physical attacks, which we mentioned before is Asta's one true weakness as stated by Lucius. But this practice also allows the user to attack from a distance, as the shout focuses all the bodily and spiritual energy into one sound, unifying the proponent's powers affecting the opponent. So now this makes sense as to why Ichika Yami can separate her consciousness from her physical body to attack these bandits from a distance. This is exactly what Asta requires to defeat Lucius Socrates. He needs to master his ki to 10 times his power level just like her, as Lucius himself has already done so by absorbing all the mana of the devils in hell. Asta only has 7 days, and Ryu stated that he won't make his move until Judgment Day. So I recommend that you watch this video on your screen right now, as it explains the importance and meaning behind their battle.